creator of Illumin, and I've been hosting these videos, Last 60, Best 60, to really get people in my life focused in on making the last days of 2018 their best days, so that we really enter into 2019 with a sense of vision and feeling strong and really feeling aware of what we're up to in life. And I just wanted to share a quote today and sort of set a sense of where I'm headed in the next week or so as we finish up the year. So the quote I wanted to share with you is, know your thoughts because they become your words. Know your words because they become your actions, and know your actions because they become your destiny. And it really is the theme that has been woven into a lot of what I've been sharing. Because sometimes I'm suggesting that we look at our values, or we look at our bank statements, or we look at our relationships and how we communicate. And there's a lot to look at in reflecting on our lives. And the reason why I do that, and I invite you into this whole process, is because where we're headed in life is up to us in this moment. What we think, what we say, what we do becomes where we end up. And I've been looking back at my journals and notes that I've been taking over the last 3 years. And interestingly, a couple of phrases that have been consistent in my life is, one is making the impossible possible, and not just for me, but creating classes and products and experiences that make the impossible possible for people. And whether that's when I'm teaching yoga and really making the experience of yoga doable, enjoyable, something like a life practice for people, or if it's kind of like what I'm doing here with the Last 60, Best 60, having people look at our lives. Or it's also I created the Illumin Life Directory and really making it possible for people to access resources in our community to live their best lives. Like all of these ways that I am trying to live out that making the impossible possible really starts with having that idea, that value, that that's what I want to do, and always finding ways to do that. So whatever you are up to, whatever stage in life you're in, think about what keeps coming up for you in terms of what are you up to. And that's a really simple way of saying, like, what's your value? What's your goal? What's your life purpose? What's your mission? And I believe everyone at every stage of our life has some way of living that out. And secondly, what I want to set up is that for the next 12 days, minus Sunday, which I'll do another Sunday review, I'll be addressing all of the life categories in the Wheel of Life. So again, if you haven't already downloaded that or have it in your Illumin directory, I'll make that available. And just really thinking through these areas of life so that when we look at our whole life, we can see what's going strong, what we're working on, what we're trying to amplify and strengthen. And also, as we head into the new year, really being aware of not just the problems in our life, because a lot of times our New Year's resolutions or our new habits have to do with changing problems, but I also want to have us look at what's going strong and why these areas feel strong, and how to apply those habits or those ideas or thoughts that we have in the strong areas to the areas that we want to see some improvement or change. Because I think a lot of times we think it's just something, what would solve a problem is something new, something different, something we don't know yet. I do believe that we have the capacity to create our most amazing life. And I'll just tell a story. And the sign said, create the life that you love and live it powerfully. And I just remember I was in my 20s, and I am an optimist, and I have a lot of faith in God and the world and the universe. And I just remember I rolled my eyes thinking, who does that? Who creates a life that they love and lives it powerfully? And probably about 3 years later, I was sitting in that same room having done this program and just like other things in my life. And I remember probably 2 weeks before that moment that I was sitting back in that room, that I remember thinking, God, I love my life and I wouldn't have it any other way. And just felt like everything had just been fallen into place. And so I just remember seeing that sign again and thinking, I really didn't think that was possible. So I say that as we enter into these last 20 days of the year, that you too, in whether it's this process or your own process, or just by working on your life, and I'm not proposing anything like that program. I'm just proposing that if we look at our lives and focus in on areas that can be amplified, strengthened, or enhanced, and then also look at the areas that are going strong, that we too can, maneuver that compass and direct our ship in the direction that will be a life that we love. So stay with it and trust that every day that you work on your life, it's more than anyone else is probably working on their lives. And just trust in a process, whether it's this, or if you have a process, or if you're reading books that help you, or if you have a coach, work on your life, because you will love your life.